to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we live?
Hello. We're live.
Hello? We're live?
Yep.
We're live. Hey everyone. Sorry, I'm just trying to get over to the actual page.
We posted very late a link, so hopefully we'll give you guys a few minutes to come on board.
Live.
With so many patterns, colors, and sizes to choose from.
Sorry.
Who's
Okay.
with us? Anybody?
Oh, we got some people. Who's that? I can't read that far. Hold on.
I know, it's too far
Let me
away.
see. How do I look at the chats? Hold on. Live chat. Jamie. Jamie's here. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Susie. Hi, Jay.
We were just talking to Jamie on the phone.
Hi, Trish.
Or not on, yeah, texting Jamie on the phone.
Okay, so
there's
click the link. Okay.
I feel like we're weird, like.
Victoria says, Debbie, your hair looks great.
Oh, thank you. That's better, isn't it?
Is that better?
I don't like it when there's too much space above my head. That's why I always tilt the camera down. It makes me feel like I'm way down here.
Well, we do seem, do we seem far away? I can bring it, let me bring it closer.
Yeah. So, oh, I'm seeing everybody now. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Susan. There's Jay. There's Vintage Bandits Girl, Trish, Kathy Goodson. Got a whole bunch of people in here.
Is that better?
That's way better. Oh, there's Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey,
says
Stephanie.
hi, Danielle. Bernice Murray Vintage, Josie Ford Style Vintage, Susan Schilberg, Melissa Overland, Paula Black. Oh my gosh, so many of you.
Man, you guys all hopped on very fast. You must have your alerts turned on.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Did everyone, we ate keto Thanksgiving
We
dinner.
had an awesome keto Thanksgiving thanks to my daughter. She just completely outdid herself, and she knew that stuffing was my favorite part of Thanksgiving dinner, and she knew that I was bummed that I wasn't going to be able to eat bread.
There's keto bread.
She made really keto stuffing out of keto bread.
Yeah, it was good.
It was great, huh?
Yes.
It was really, really good.
Oh, and she made the best pumpkin pie and churro cupcakes. Oh,
yeah, those were really good too. And what else? Oh, the spinach artichoke dip with keto bread, Parmesan cheese bread, garlic bread, and what else? Big salad.
Salad.
Turkey.
Stuffing. I was stuffed. I was stuffed on the stuffing.
I was very grateful. Very, very grateful.
Okay, we posted earlier.
Are you looking that up?
And asked for questions. So you want to do the questions first?
Yes. Let me make sure I didn't overlook any of these. Melissa, hello. Happy December from Oklahoma. Hola from Mexico. Maggie.
Oh. Hey, Maggie.
Oh, Mandy. Hello from Australia.
Yes, Mandy Driscoll. She's from Down Under.
Okay.
Elaine Yvette is asking if we will ever have a liquid patina in other metallics other than the gold. So yes, we have a copper patina coming out. I still don't like the way the camera is.
She is so picky.
I am picky. There.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, I don't like feeling like I'm a floating head. It bugs me. That's why I do the weird camera angle, because if I see myself in the camera and I feel weird, then I get distracted.
Okay.
And I can't actually be in the moment and focus on what's going on, because I keep looking at myself going, I look weird.
Oh,
It's
Jamie.
vanity.
Jamie said she had bacon wrapped steak for Thanksgiving. Okay,
Get
so
out, Jamie. Yum.
Yeah, but this triggered a memory.
Oh, yeah.
Ellie did bacon wrapped onion rings.
They were so good, Jamie. Jamie, my grocery, I'm talking to your phone instead of here. My grocery store, I go to this fancy health food grocery store. It's like a Whole Foods, but it's called Lazy Acres. they have a whole breakfast bar, and you can go there and like you get the little cardboard things, and they have like a big thing of nothing but bacon. And I just take the tongs and I
At
fill
Lazy
up my
Acres?
yeah. I fill up my box with like 50 slices of bacon. I'm not even joking.
I need to go through there, and it's probably good bacon, right?
Yes, and then I bring it like, especially when I know that I'm gonna be like out and about and I won't have time to make lunch, and I don't know what I want to like pack my lunch because
Right.
I'm not a cooking kind of person.
You can eat it cold.
Yeah, well, I buy a tub of cream cheese, and then I have the cold bacon, and I use the bacon like they're chips, and I dip it in the cream cheese, and it fills you up in like seriously, like 3 slices of bacon, and you're like good for an hour.
Jamie Ray's eating bacon right now with her pancakes.
Yum. I have some still left in the freezer, or in the fridge. I should go get. Okay, so we're off track. Elaine Yvette wants to know if we are ever gonna get another metallic besides the golden ticket. And the answer to that is we have a beautiful copper patina coming out. It was supposed to be out right about now, but the response to all the new colors and the dust and everything overwhelmed our factory, and so they are just now getting back up to normal speed. So you guys may not have noticed it because it's mostly like we've been working around the clock, but like the first couple weeks that we released the new colors, it was total mayhem, and they were working 7 days a week. And normally we ship like within 2 or 3 days, and we're more like at 7 days right now. So we're waiting for them to get back to their normal high speed, and then we will release the copper patina. And we have a new surprise wax that goes with the copper patina.
Do they know?
We haven't announced it
okay.
yet, but it's beautiful. We have all the artwork for everything. So we're gonna push that until the beginning of the year. But it was
Okay.
supposed to be released in November.
So January 1,
Yeah.
New Year's surprise?
Well, not the very first day of January, no. But at the beginning of the year, it's a broad term. Like, to me, the beginning of the
Generic.
year is January, February. That's like, I still feel like we're in the beginning of the year in February.
Okay.
Don't you?
She's on Mexican time.
You're Mexican too. Let's see.
Okay, so that answered that question. What's the
Yeah.
other ones?
Let's see. Melanie Mel wants to know if I would ever consider doing a video tour of the DIY paint factory, similar to the one I made years ago in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it would be fun. I don't know if I could do that or not. Like, we have such top secret recipes. Maybe. It would be an interesting thing. Like, our factory and the people who make the paint and package the paint are so cool and very
You'd have
interesting.
to talk to them about
And I can
it.
tell you this much. It is so clean there that you could eat off the floor. Like, it's a meticulous, tight run ship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would.
I've never been there, but
I'd have to have a discussion and
with
see.
them.
Would you
Yeah.
guys be interested in that?
Susie Chilberg said, did you say black or wax when you were announcing something new?
I said that we're gonna have a copper patina, and I said we're gonna have a new wax, but it's a surprise.
Oh, okay. So she might
Yeah.
have thought that you said that we
No.
were going to have a new black, but no,
Yeah.
it's new wax. Okay. Jamie wants to come.
Okay, Jamie, you can come with me. That would be fun. Hello from the okay, this is Meredith Kester. Hello from the opposite coast. I'd love to see a video of a way to update hollow core doors. Can you think of anything creative and durable ideas using DIY paint and perhaps molds? So very bored with my dark doors.
I wonder if you'd be for hire to go to the East Coast.
No. I'm not hired. I'm not for hire for anything. But I could go to the East Coast, but not for hire. No. I've got so much work on my plate.
50s flat sounds really fun.
Yeah. Hollow core doors. I would paint the doors. I can think of a million things. You could use the wood grain stamp on the doors. You could use the molds on the doors. They have that amazing,
Oh, I do some molds on the doors. That
yeah,
sounds really good.
or that like wallpaper that you can peel on and off that you can buy at Target. It looks like old wood plank boards. What else? Susan Schilberg posted a question. She's wondering how to create old world patina. We'll paint over the molds now that they dry. Just looking for ideas. Oh, well, speak of old world patina. This is kind of old world, don't you think?
Yeah.
You guys want to see a sneak peek of Wednesday's video coming up? There, she's kind of blown out because of the light shining on us. But this is a mermaid mold on a dollar store plastic bulb. And the best way to create an old world patina is to apply the paint really thick with heavy brush strokes so you get a lot of texture, and then put the clear wax over it and the decrepit dust, and that gives you definitely an old world patina. I have another one in a different color. Let me grab that.
So while you're getting up, Cheryl Girton wants to know if there's a way she can get a color chart with all your colors on it. And isn't that something that your retailers offer?
Yeah, here's another one. This is, gosh, it's bright. Let me see it. I wonder what would happen if I turn this light down.
Oh yeah,
There.
that's good.
See that? So that's done with the decrepit dust and the clear wax and the white wax, similar to how I did the lamp. That is a very good way to get that old world look, Susan. And then to just really apply the paint.
She says, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's see. I don't know if you can see all the texture in there. Oh yeah, there you. That is from just applying the paint kind of sloppy and fast to just build up all those brush strokes and textures, highs and lows, so that the dust will settle into all the little nooks and crannies, like even where the mold isn't. See all of that? Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so the color charts can be purchased from the retailers, right?
Yeah, I think most of them don't even charge for the color charts, but we don't ship them out. You have to go to a retailer to get one because they are digital and it's almost impossible to replicate the exact color. Plus with DIY paint, it's one color when it's wet, it's another color when it dries, it's a third color once you put a top coat on it. And then if you add a wax or the decrepit dust, it's like it's a chameleon. So we don't want to send out that color chart and have you expect it to be exactly like what's printed, and colors vary on computer screens.
It's a
So
good
it's
guide.
really hard.
It's a good
Yeah.
guide when choosing
Yeah.
colors, but we send them by like the 50s and the 100s to the retailers.
Yeah, it's
And
much
they
better to
give 'em
go
up.
in because they'll open a can of paint for you. They have hand painted swatches with different variations of the color. Like I know Jamie at her store, she has all those little tiny dollhouse pieces of furniture painted with all the colors. And she has samples of what clear wax and dark wax looks like.
I think we're competing with Dion tonight. Is she live?
Dion's gone live every
Every
night
night, that's
for
right.
100 days in a row.
Yeah,
So it
we
doesn't
might-
matter what night we're on. We're all going to be competing with Dion.
We can't wait 100 days to go live.
Yeah.
So we just happened to choose the same time.
Yeah. Dion is.
So Susie wants to know, did you paint the ball first and then out on the mold?
Oh, I have another one. I can go get it. Hold on.
Sherry Baker says, I would love to see a video dedicated to getting a smooth, no brush stroke finish. Oh wow,
I
is
think
this how
Jamie
they
Ray
started?
has one of those. So here's how they start.
Is that
Just
glass or
no,
plastic?
it's plastic.
Oh.
I got these at Michael's. I think they're $1. Right now
Okay.
they're on sale. I've also seen them at the dollar store. And then I paint them with the dark undercolor. So this is weathered wood. Then I put the mold on top.
It says $4, but you must have got them on sale.
Yeah, they were on sale.
Oh, wow.
They have all different sizes. Then I put the mold on top, and then I give it a second coat of weathered wood so that the mermaid is all dark. And then I add a third coat that is a color.
So this is
And-
how it started.
Yeah,
painted.
it started like this, then it went to this.
And then you put the mold on, and then you painted it?
Then I'm gonna need to paint it again with more of this weathered wood, and then I will paint a color over it and wax it and give it a decrepit look. As far as doing a video just dedicated to a smooth finish, I try and do like very basic videos like that, but I get bored.
She does. She gets bored.
Like, for me, making a video is so hard. Like, all of the editing and all of the time that it takes to make a video, even if I were to make a simple video, it'd still be 20 hours out of my week. And the only way I can motivate myself to make a video is if I'm totally jazzed about the project. So like, for example, the lamp that I did on Wednesday, I was so excited to share that with you. And that's what keeps me going when I'm editing at midnight for the second day in a row. So I've tried making those basic videos and I never finish them because I get bored.
Yeah.
So,
and Jamie offers a great tip. She says for no brush strokes, just spray it.
Yeah, spray it in a paint sprayer. Use, I've heard that there's a sponge that you can use to get a really flat finish. I also use my spray water bottle and spray and paint at the same time. But Jamie Ray has a series of videos on how to get a smooth finish. And they have a whole bunch of videos on basic things, which is great because they're covering things that Jamie doesn't like the intricate projects. She gets bored and loses her mind after so much detail. So it's like we both offer something different, and we complement each other. So I love that.
Okay, and then
It's hot right now. I'm like rolling up my jean pants.
I know, I took my sweatshirt off. Okay, so Dawn Designs wants to know what kinds of handmade ornaments sell well. You've done a lot of ornaments over the years.
Yeah.
Which ones would you say sell the best?
Ornaments that you can personalize, I think sell really well. Mermaid ornaments sell really well in my shop. I would think something like this would be a great ornament to sell. It depends on where you are. Like, we're by the coast, so anything mermaid.
Yeah, mermaids are
We
popular.
even have those paper mermaids that I made last year in a video. Those sell really well. We have some seahorse ornaments that sell really well. I
would
noticed
think
on
the personalized one or pets. Anything to
Pets,
do with
yeah,
their pets.
we have
People
these-
love pet things.
Yeah, so it depends on, on what you love and what your look is. I don't know if she's asking to sell in her shop or if she's asking like what kind of ornaments she should make. But yeah, and then those glass balls with the sand and shells inside, those sell
Jay
really
wants
well.
to know if you think those are gonna hang lopsided because the weight is on one side.
No.
I think it's big enough to kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah,
It's
I don't
pretty
think
big. If that ends up being the case, I could always add something to the back.
So. Yeah, but it doesn't look like it.
No. No, I think it'll be
Okay.
all right.
Okay. Kathy Goodson wants to know if you would create a larger size of big top.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Jamie agrees. She says she uses it by the gallon. Okay. Jackie Flowers said she made angel ones and they didn't hang lopsided.
Oh, you mean the angel with the cherub one, the IOD cherub one, and they didn't hang lopsided?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Okay. So, how about any questions from the previous?
I think
Post.
we covered. I think we covered everything from previous questions.
Did I miss anybody's question? If I did, post it again, type it again, and it's hard to go back, but
Yep. Are there any questions about the lamp? It's sitting right over here.
it's so pretty.
Let me,
So what's the topic for today? What are we doing?
So
What are we talking about?
we are talking about holidays on a budget.
Holidays on a budget?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can tell you right now that last year
That's your budget tree.
I know, I have this cute little budget tree that I got at Home Goods. Last year I went and I bought a live tree. So I've had my store for 20 years and I have not had a tree in my house for probably 17 years because I have 7 trees at my shop. And by the time I get all of those decorated, I'm just like, oh, I do not want to do a tree at home. Like that's just more work. And I just don't have it in me.
Well, and you always
And
come
so-
over to my house for
Yeah.
Christmas morning.
Yeah,
so.
but it's nice, it's nice to see that tree over there. There's a tree sitting over there that I just put up. And so last year I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a video decorating my tree. I'm gonna show everybody all the ornaments I've made throughout the years. And I'm gonna go and get a real tree. So Bobby and I went to Home Depot and we even filmed it. Like I had the whole film footage of me getting the tree.
But you didn't post it?
No, because I got tired.
Oh my gosh, that was from last year.
I know. I was just like, the holidays are so busy at the store. And so then we got the tree. I spent a lot of money for the tree and I hauled it all the way up here. I set it up and then it made a big old mess on my floor. And then after Christmas was over, it died and sat over there for
That's what trees do.
3 weeks before I finally took it down to the curb. And by then, the whole Christmas tree pickup situation was done. So I had to take it to, I don't know what I had to do. I think I had to take it to the dump or something.
Yeah. So you now understand the value of a fake tree.
Yeah, so I just felt like a total failure. And I spent a lot of money on it.
You saved
So-
a tree this year.
Yeah, well, this little tree, we can show it, but I found it at Home Goods. I think it was $89, and it looks real, and it's small enough for my house, and it's just so much easier.
Was it pre-lit?
Yeah, it's pre-lit.
Oh wow, that's
You guys want to see it? So there's my first tip.
Okay, here I'll move it.
Fake. I've always been anti-fake tree, but
You want to get over there by your tree?
sure. Have to get the chair out of the way.
There's her tree.
There it is. Yeah. I think it's cute.
With
I
her
didn't
little
have to put on the
pom-poms?
lights. I have a few ornaments started on there. I'm gonna add some more, and I'm gonna actually do the video decorating my tree this year.
I like the basket too. It came with a cute little
Yeah, it came with the basket. I don't need a tree skirt. I'm all about making the things simple. So that would be my first tip. And then I absolutely love to make gifts for the holidays. I love making handmade gifts. So I'm going to Ohio on Friday to see Kelly Weiler. I'm teaching a class with Kelly and Dion and Kenise. And so I want to bring them Christmas gifts. And Kenise loves mermaids. She looks like a mermaid. I don't know if you guys know who Kenise is, but she's my retail director. And she's got blonde, long, wavy hair. And her whole house is lots of mermaids. So I'm making one of these. I'm going to give her one of these.
Does she know that?
No.
Oh,
But she's
Kenise-
not a member of the group.
Oh,
so-
then she wouldn't
yeah.
know. Okay.
So I'm not sure what I'm gonna make for Dion, but my goal is to make special gifts and send them out to like Dion and Kenise and Jamie Ray. So we can't really say what I'm making for her because she might still be watching.
Okay, so Krabby Blonde wants to know if you have one of your old shell ornaments that you used to make to show. Those were my favorite.
They're at your house.
They're all on my Christmas tree.
We sell those every year in my shop. We sell a kit to make your own. So I used to make them, and I've made thousands of them. So now what I do is I have them hanging on the tree, and basically they're an ornament like this with sand and seashells inside.
You
and
could
we
do that with those.
Yeah, we do. We do it to like 6 of them. We put them on the tree in my shop, and then there's like little tags that say they're not for sale. But then we sell a box, and there's enough supplies in there with the link to the video and the instructions to make 3 of your own. So the kits really sell, and I love to give those as gifts. So if you are wanting to give handmade gifts, or if you're wanting to sell things at a craft show, I don't know about you, but like you come up with something really beautiful like this, and you're like, oh, this is so cool, but I don't want to make 23 of these.
Or
So
230.
you could make up a couple of these, put them on a tree, and then box up packages with all of the supplies in them to make everything. And
that's an awesome idea, because
yeah.
a lot of people want to make it, but they don't want to go searching for all the materials. All the materials are right there. It's like, you know, like the old color by number thing.
Yeah, so even if you're at a craft show and maybe you're not an IOD retailer, you could have the mermaid mold, you could have the clay, and you could interact with your customers and have them make their mermaid. They could put it in a Ziploc baggie and put it in their freezer, and then you could sell them kits with everything else that they need, like a little bit of paint and the ball and some ribbon, or, you know, or other ideas. But that's a really fun way to get people to buy. I know that there was a Christmas show a couple years ago near Dad's house, and it was a very successful show. People lined up to come to this show, and I was invited to sell DIY paint there. And I knew that Christmas time was going to be a really hard time to sell paint, because it was like early December, and when you get into December, like people are buying like jewelry and ornaments and candles and sweaters, and they're not thinking about, they're like, oh, I'll get the paint after Christmas is over. So I didn't want to drive all the way out. It was an hour away, and it was a 2-day show, and you know, all the work that goes into setting up and hauling. Just imagine hauling like a whole booth's worth of paint, which is heavy. Like, we took so much paint there. I had my old car, and the car like was driving low to the ground, and I had trouble like getting up the hill to Dad's house because the car was so bogged down with so much paint. And so I'm like, is this even going to be worth it to go do this show? But what we did was, I had my dad cut out little scrap pieces of wood, and I took all of my IOD molds with me and all of the clay, and we set up a big farm table, and we had all the paint set up in shelves, and we decorated it for Christmas. And then I took a little rocking chair, and I painted the rocking chair right out front of my booth. And as people were walking by, I talked to them about the paint, and I invited them to sit down and make a free ornament. And do you know how much paint we sold?
I think I remember, but tell them.
Well, I spent a big chunk of the money to buy Levi for my dad for Christmas.
That's right. That's
and
right.
he was an expensive dog. We sold $3,000 worth of paint, and there were 2 other paint booths at the show, and I think they didn't sell very much paint. I think they sold a couple of cans, and we sold a ton. So if you're doing craft shows, or if you have a shop,
that ties into the experience that you were talking about in the download, right?
If you're trying to sell anything, whether it's through Facebook Marketplace or on Instagram, make it an experience for your customers. So that's how we did it at the craft show. They got to sit down for free, no questions asked, and they got to make an ornament, and then you get to talk to them and interact with them, and they leave with this fun little thing that they made.
And they bought paint. They get all their questions answered, and they understand how different the paint is.
Yeah, once you start working with the paint and you get it in your hand, it's really exciting to, you can justify buying it.
I think it works with anything, really. When people start to draw you in and make it more personal, I always want to buy.
Jamie was listening. She said, I ordered your present. I better get it shipped.
Oh.
Is it bacon?
Big box of bacon.
Yeah. I did not find the large ornament at the 99-cent store.
Or wasn't it at Michael's, you said?
I got these at Michael's, but at the 99-cent store,
Oh, those
there
are the
are
ones that you
there
did.
are also this one. This one has a different lid. So see the difference?
Oh.
So they're about the same size, but see the lid difference? So this is the 99-cent store one.
Is this
and
plastic
is the-
too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one was not clear. It was like painted
Oh, okay.
a crappy gold.
But that
But
doesn't matter.
yeah. This might have come in a big tub. I can't remember because this one's from last year, but you can get these big giant tubs full of them
Yeah.
for like $5.
Michael's,
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby, or even the dollar store. Like the 99-cent store is different from the dollar store, and sometimes I find different things.
Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree.
We don't
yeah.
have Dollar General. All we
Well,
have
what
is the
about,
99-cent store and Dollar Tree.
What about that Daiso? Have you heard of Daiso?
No.
It's like it's kind of like an upper scale 99-cent store. It's it's cool. You would like it.
Yeah. Yeah, but Michael's has a ton of stuff on sale right now. Like it was, I think they sent me a coupon that was 30% off my entire purchase.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah. My local shoppers don't seem interested in Christmas decor. What can I do to raise some excitement for handmade decor?
I think what you just said about
getting them involved,
doing
creating a make and take, and then if they're not excited about Christmas decor, like what about handmade gifts? What about like coming up with ideas? Like I think Stephanie and Melissa and I are going to do a video that's going to post right before the holidays, gifts under $10 that you can make. So think about, like, for me, when I am buying things for you and my nieces, I always think about jewelry that you can make, or candles, those kind of things, ornaments, but gifts that are fun to make.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
with all the molds now and the stamps, I mean, you can get so you can create, like, I like gifts that are not generic all across the board. Like, I like personal gifts. So that it seems like with all the things you have, you can make it so unique and individual to the person.
Yeah, you know what I saw on Pinterest today? They took a pair of like winter mittens and they must have put plastic down in them. So the mittens were like hanging like this, and they were filled, so you know they weren't just flat and floppy. And then they put like tiny little green trees in them, and they
Like
were
little
so
planters.
cute. Yeah, so
Huh.
potted plants are a good idea, and I see succulents and cute little tiny plants at the dollar store all the time. So that's a good idea for holidays on a budget. Everyone loves a little potted plant, and you could get, like Jamie and Zeb just did this week. They took tin cans, like recycled food cans. They took the labels off and they painted them and put the IOD molds on them. And how cute would that be to give that as a little gift with like a little tiny tree in it, or a succulent, or
anything,
or
really,
a potted plant of some kind.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Oh, good. Jenna likes that idea. Okay, I'm making tree toppers from old springs from antique furniture. How is that looking, Melanie Mel has some of the best ideas. I have a pile of old bed springs, so I want to see what that looks like. I bet that's gonna be good.
I would like to see
Melanie,
that
hashtag it, hashtag Debbie's Design Diary or Team DIY on Instagram so I can see it.
Or DIY Christmas, so it's more individual. I don't know.
Yeah. And then Melissa says, sometimes if you do something holiday, but then show them something similar that's everyday, that will draw them in. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally true. I know for me, it's like, I don't really, I don't get a lot of like very specific holiday items. I'd rather get things that are everyday.
Yeah, I'm not a shopper.
Except for ornaments. I love ornaments.
But see that, like, I would keep that out every day.
They are
I'd
really
put that
pretty.
in, like, on a branch in my bathroom or something. They're
Yeah.
beautiful, especially if they're not totally Christmassy.
I guess you could, because they're plastic, like after the holidays, you could cut a bigger hole and put a succulent in it, maybe. That might be kind of cool. Or just put a mermaid on a clay pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you know, if you have those little like garden hooks and just hang them out in the garden, like, I don't know, they're so cute.
Well, these are resins, so these would survive outside. But the 99-cent store does sell the clay pots. And these would be this concept on a clay pot with a succulent in it
that would be
would
pretty.
be an amazing Christmas gift that you could do.
And that could
like,
go year round, like all over.
So you buy those pots for $1. You get the IOD mold that you can use over and over again, and the paint, like with 1 8-ounce jar of paint, you could make 24 of those, and there you have a bunch of beautiful gifts.
Yeah.
For probably under $5 each.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful. Oh, I should do that. I think so. We're trying to think of ideas for gifts under $10. So
I would do the pot.
yeah. The pot is a great.
The pot with the butterflies, the way you bent them and stuff, that would be pretty too.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Okay, what else? So pretty. I used to buy a real tree each year for my kids, but then they got big and I had no interest in helping me pick one out. So I bought a fake tree. The best thing ever. It's totally the best thing ever, Carol. The mermaid and the birds would be neat as part of a centerpiece. Totally would.
Yeah.
Totally would. Jamie Ray says, after Christmas, I will just paint over my Christmas stuff that didn't sell. Anything I can't paint over will get out of the way. This year, I have sold one of the Christmas items from last year. Jamie Ray, so I went to Jamie Ray's for her grand opening, and she had the cutest little wooden box. It was like a little, if I can remember correctly, it was like a little it looked like a wooden toolbox, like an old-fashioned one. You know, it was a box, and then it came up on the sides, and then the bar, with the handle, but the bar was an old table leg. And we were getting ready. It was like 5 minutes before, like everyone was lined up outside. It was 5 minutes before we were gonna open the doors and let everybody in. And I'm like running around taking pictures, and I'm rearranging stuff because I went to her store, and I'm like, Jamie, can I fluff up your store? That's what I call it, fluffing up. And so she's like, sure, Debbie. And then she didn't know what she was getting herself into because I rearranged her whole store. You know how I am, right? And so then I'm like, oh, we need more merchandise. And so I started going down to her basement, and she had stuff in her storage room, and I would pull it up. I'm like, can I use this? And I got these branches, and I put them in a big thing, and I made like things hanging from the ceiling. And I finally just felt like, okay, the store looks good. And then at the last minute, I see this cute little red box just in the corner with a bunch of crap piled on it. I'm like, what is this doing down here? And every time I would bring something out, Jamie would be like, all right, I'm like, can we put this out for sale? And she's like, yes, but I gotta tag it and price it, and and she'd have to give it to her
Good job,
team.
Jamie.
And
organized. I like it.
And it sold like that. It was the cutest little thing, and she said she had it in the store for years and nobody bought it. And she's like, I never thought that would sell. And I'm like, how could you not think that that would sell? It was so cute.
Well,
I'm like, it's
display.
red. It's
display
Christmas.
Display is everything.
Yeah, but apparently it wasn't red. It was Kissing Booth.
Oh.
But it looked red to me. And we had an argument over, was it red or was it Kissing Booth? But it sold, and it sold for a good price too. So you just never know. Like, selling is hit and miss, and you know that thing got snatched up right away. But yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Maggie Fletcher's saying, I used your idea, Jamie, and stamped tea towels from IKEA, 74 cents. People love them. That is an awesome idea. Stamping tea towels, I like that. Or stamping Christmas stockings. Susan wants to know, Jamie, are you dying? She says, I had to print the tag and inventory it. I had it for 2 years and in my space, and it never sold. Well, here's the other thing that I believe. So selling things is very much about how you merchandise it and how you display it. So imagine, like, if you had just a folding table and everything was flat and you just lined everything up like soldiers, like you would at a garage sale. You're not going to sell that item as much as if you would create an environment for it. So like it goes back to creating an experience for your customers. So I took the little red/hot pink box and I put some greenery in it and I put a few ornaments and it was already in a little vignette that I had created and it was on top of an old ladder. And so when people see it, they like picture it in their homes and they're like, oh, I want to bring a piece back. Like, at least for me, that's how I feel when I go into Anthropologie and I see all the beautiful displays. It's like, I want to take a piece of the whole Anthropologie store back home with me. It's not just the thing that I'm buying, but it's the smell of the candles and it's the beautiful display and it's all the gorgeousness in that store. And so I buy one thing and I feel like I'm taking the whole store back home.
Well, and for people like me who can't vision what you would do with a box, you know, it's like, I need help showing me what to do with it. So when it's kind of already decorated and filled with goodies,
merchandising is huge.
Then I go, oh, that's I want that, you know. But if I just saw the box, I'd be like, well, what do I need with the box?
Right. You have to you have to spell it out for them and show your customers. Like, that's why staging furniture is so helpful when you're selling your furniture, because you're showing them, you know, you set it in an environment where it looks like it's in someone's home and you have accessories on top and you're telling the customer this is how it could be in your house.
Grambo says, agreed, Debbie has the magic touch. She does. I have Debbie come over to my house all the time and I'm like, can you fluff it? Can you fluff my house?
I just fluffed your house recently.
I know.
Grandma says, I bought a flat felt tree that hangs on the wall and has a stick of felt ornaments. My great-granddaughter loves to stick the ornaments on every time she comes over. That sounds fun. What are you doing?
Hot.
You're opening the door?
I have to. I'm so
freezing
hot
outside.
right now.
Jamie Ray says she moved that thing everywhere, but Debbie touched it and then it sold. She has the magic touch. Yeah, Jamie's store is so stinking cute, and I had so much fun. Like, we were up decorating that store the night before. First, Jamie made me go to her son's football game.
You made her go? That must have been torture.
It was freezing there. It was snowing. Okay. And so
okay,
I'm all bundled up and we're watching her son play football, and all I can think about is how much I wish I had a cup of coffee, because I was free. And like, when you get cold, then you're like, you just want to, like, you start thinking about getting in your bed and snuggling up. And I knew that as soon as the football game was over, we were going to go to Jamie's store and work. And it was already like 6 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I don't get some coffee, I'm gonna melt into the floor. But I was in Utah, and there's not a lot of coffee in Utah. There's one Starbucks, and so I made Zeb go get me a latte, and then that was all I needed, and we decorated and had fun. And Jamie's store and her team and Zeb, they're so much fun. Her sister-in-law was there, and we were wrapping gifts and stenciling, and it was like Santa's elves. It was totally fun.
Okay, well, let's see. Where are we? I want to make sure we cover what we need to cover. If there's any, is there anything from the download that we need to maybe...
Yeah, so the last download we did was on the bird dresser. So if there's any questions about that dresser, I'll talk about that for a minute. And then the worksheets coming up will include the lamp and...
So maybe it seems like a lot of people always ask what's better, the resin or the paper clay. That might be a good topic to discuss, because like didn't Stephanie say it would be fun to take this mermaid and bring her tail up kind of like 3D?
Yeah.
And that you can really only do with resin. Right?
Okay.
But not clay. Like that.
So, if you saw my last video, this is the lamp that I made. And my original thought was, most of the time I use paper clay. Paper clay is non-toxic. It's really easy to use. Oops. It's durable, so if you drop it on the floor, it doesn't break.
Like I just did.
But these are resin. Hold on, let me go get some paper clay.
Okay. I love this butterfly lamp. Are you keeping that?
Yeah.
There's my lamp, Terry Maloney.
Okay, so this is, I'm experimenting with the butterflies. These are made out of the clay.
Here.
And I wanted to see if I could get them to dry with the wings bent up.
Okay, so let's see.
Made out of clay. Here, let me turn this down. Oh yeah.
Turn the lighting down. Okay, there we go.
So see the wing. Show them how the wings are kind of bent. Okay, what I did was I put the butterfly in the mold, and then I got a stack of pennies. I bent it a little bit, and then I put pennies on each side of the wings. It's kind of hard to show you here, so that the butterfly would sit with and dry with the wings up. So I'm gonna test this and see how this works out. But
Did you do that with the resin one too?
the resin ones, this is a resin one. They come out of the mold really bendy, and then you can just tape them up with painter's tape.
Okay.
But the clay, I guess you could try painter's
But this
tape,
doesn't
they might
seem like
break.
this would be as durable coming off of an item 3D. You know what I mean? Like this.
Right. The paper clay is pretty durable. Here's how it starts out. And I forgot to put it back in the bag, so it's a little crunchy. The great thing about paper clay, though, is if it starts to get dry, you can sprinkle some water on it and put it back in the Ziploc bag when you're done. But here's the clay, and if it has a flush surface to push up against, it's not brittle. So like this dresser over here is all paper clay. Same with my cake dresser. I shipped my cake dresser to Wyoming, and it was totally fine. Nothing broke, nothing cracked. The seahorse dresser, when I first made the seahorse was like, I didn't like the way he looked. His neck was too fat. And so I literally chipped and carved away at his neck and took off like a good 30% of all the molds, and it didn't shatter the mold like you can with a sharp knife.
And you couldn't have done that with resin.
No, you could never do that with resin.
So.
But with the resin,
there's definitely a purpose for each.
like this is a resin butterfly that was left over. I wanted this 3D look of the butterflies. See it? Here. This lamp is just blowing everything out. So I wanted the 3D look of the butterflies, but once I started, I like wasn't thinking, and I just kept pouring the molds for all of this background stuff. This is the acanthus mold. And then once I got going on it, I'm like, oh, crap. I should have only made the butterflies in the resin and done the rest of it with the paper clay, because the paper clay is just much faster, much easier. The resin you're supposed to wear gloves with, which I didn't do. And now there's a bunch of comments on the video. You're supposed to wear gloves. It's like,
everybody's
you're
worried
right.
about you.
Well, you know, I understand what they're saying, because I'm setting an example, and the box does say wear gloves. And so people need to know that they should wear gloves.
Yeah.
I don't ever wear gloves. That's my own personal choice. But if I'm making a video for the public, for the sake of that, I should put on the stupid gloves. But I don't. Like, I made more today. I'm never going to wear gloves.
It's funny, I don't like wearing gloves when I color people's hair. I don't like gloves.
It's so confining.
Yeah, but I come home with
you
colored
should, because the
fingernails.
resin is toxic. So you should do it.
Yes.
But anyway, so then I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should switch to paper clay and just make the butterflies out of the resin. But I realized that because this lamp started off this beautiful aqua color, and it's all porcelain, I wouldn't have been able to paint everything ahead of time. And you can only apply the clay molds when the clay is wet. Otherwise, if you let them all dry, you can't bend them into shape anymore, and they kind of crack and the edges curl up. So you need to push them onto the surface with the glue and let them dry in place. And then I would have had to take a tiny brush and try and do all of this finish to all of the pieces.
So by using the resin, you could pre-paint.
With using the resin, I could pre-paint. And especially when you're using the decrepit dust, you really want to work it in there and press really hard. So it would have been really hard to oops, that butterfly wasn't glued on good enough. It would have been really hard to pre-paint all of this. So the great thing about the resin is if it doesn't bend well enough, you can heat it up with a hair dryer. And so that's what I did. I'd glue it, then I'd put tape on it, then I'd heat it with a hair dryer and press it down and wrap it in tape. But it was a tedious process. It took, it was several different rounds of gluing, because once you get the tape on, then you can't put any more molds on. So it was like gluing and taping and letting that dry, pulling off the tape, gluing some more, taping, letting that dry. But it was worth the effort, but it was an all-day process.
Yeah.
So resin has its place, definitely, but I would say 99% of the time I use the clay. I love the clay. I don't know what happened to my butterfly.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Anyway, are there questions about that?
So what other things did we cover in the download that maybe we talked about?
Well, Susan is asking, what's the best place to get the resin? Okay, here's another thing about the resin.
Okay.
Danielle, will you grab that box? There's a whole bunch of different kinds of resin made by the same company. The only one I like to use, the rest of it is a total pain in the butt, is the amazing casting resin. It starts off clear and dries white, and it dries in 10 minutes. There's resin that you have to wait 24 hours for it to dry, and then when it does dry, it dries rock hard and you can't bend it, and it seems more toxic to me. So this is the kind I like. You can get it on Amazon. Jamie Ray sells it on her website. I'm pretty sure she sells. Jamie, do you sell this kind? I'm pretty sure she does. But it's the amazing casting resin. That is the one that you want. I do have an Amazon link below my video, but I know that Jamie sells it and ships it.
Resin. And that's what it's called? Okay.
Yeah. By the company.
Oh, moldputty.com.
Yeah. But get it from Jamie. Support her, because even if you get it on their website, you're going to pay the same price as Jamie. Did you use E6000 to glue on the raised butterflies? Grambo, no, I did not. I just used Aileen's tacky glue, and I used tape to hold it in place. I actually believe, will you go grab the Aileen's tacky glue? So the E6000 is a really toxic glue. I rarely use it. And I've experimented. Yeah, here it is. I've experimented with E6000 versus Aileen's tacky glue. I think Aileen's tacky glue actually holds better, but it takes longer to dry, and it's slippery. So you just use the painter's tape to hold it in place, and you make sure you get a nice even pressure on it, and it will work better than E6000 in my opinion. And it's non-toxic. Did you let them cool? Maybe that is what I should have done. Let what cool? My hot glue molds are very bad. I've never tried hot glue in the molds. I've heard that you can squeeze hot glue into the IOD molds, but I've never tried it. It seems like a mess to me, because like I'm always, whenever I use a hot glue gun, all the strings and just squeezing and squeezing and squeezing the trigger, I just picture my hand getting tired. I'd rather just go with the resin.
So Maggie wants to know, with all your time and materials, what would you, if you were selling that lamp, what would you charge for it?
So here's how I charge. If I totally love something that I made and I know that I don't ever want to make another one again, I charge a lot for it. If it's something that's fairly easy to produce and I don't mind selling it and I don't want to keep it, then I price it to sell.
Well, and you have to look at it like art. Like it's a one of a kind piece.
Yeah.
It's art.
Yeah.
You don't always go
Yeah.
to time and materials when you buy paintings and
Yeah.
art in an art store. It's
So it's kind of a two-edged sword, right? So if I were to sell this lamp, first of all, I love it. It's over there. It's staying in my house. I'm not selling it because I don't ever want to make another one again. It was a whole day of work, and my lifestyle is I don't have time. I got to move on to the next video.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping this. But if I were to sell it at a price that wouldn't make me sad to sell it, it would be over $500 because that's how much it's worth to me, and that's how much it would, I would be like, oh, $500 versus keeping the lamp. Okay, I'll take the $500. But
and if you saw that lamp in the store for $500,
I don't know that anyone would pay that. But that's
that protects you from having
Yeah.
to sell it.
Right. If you wanted to be in that kind of business where you're like, hey, I have time to make lamps, I'm going to make these lamps, I would say probably $200, $150, somewhere in between that would probably be a good selling price for something like that. And then maybe try and find one that's a little bit bigger because perceived value, it's a small lamp, so if you had one that was slightly bigger, then you could probably sell that for $250. But it's all, it depends on the person. And so if you want to start making these lamps and selling them, I would think you could sell it easy for $250.
So Jamie says, I'm going to ship you the Gorilla Construction adhesive and the gun. It's magical and dries fast.
Oh yeah, you guys were using that in one of your lives. I'm going to try that, Jamie. I'm always looking for a better glue. The only thing I don't like about the hot glue in the molds is the bubbles, and it's hard to get them all out. Yeah, the resin, Grambo, they pop out like magic, and the clay, they pop out like magic. Linda Evans is asking Jamie about the gun. So Jamie and Zeb, when they were making the tin can IOD stuff, they had this big, like it looked like a caulking gun and this big tube of Gorilla Glue, and they're saying that glue is really good. So are you cold now?
Yeah, I go from hot to cold, so I keep opening and shutting the door. Okay, so that's
yeah. Can you buy it by the case? Kathy Goodson. Buy what by the case, Kathy? What are you asking? The amazing casting resin? I don't know. Clear resins take longer to cure, and they are meant for preserving items or resin pores. Yeah, Melissa Faye Designs is saying that's what I assume the clear resin is for. Is like, you see those tables or those toilet seat covers where there's like seashells.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like a really thick resin on top. Yeah, it's for like heavy duty, like rock hard for table surfaces.
Yeah, where you can see through it.
Like you see them in bars, where you can embed all this cool stuff. But I'm not into that. Just like, I don't got the patience. But it's beautiful. I've seen it before, and it does take overnight, and it's not manipulatable. Like with this,
manipulative.
Like if you go watch the video on how I made the lamp, I posted it on Wednesday. You can see me peel out the butterflies, and they're super bendy when they come out, and then you can just make them be right in place. With the clear resin, you can't do that. Okay. You have to let it sit overnight, and then when you come back and it's dry, it's flat, hard, no
manipulative.
No manipulative situation going on. But this you can. And even if it does dry, like if you come back and you're like, oh, I waited too long, they'll pop out really hard, and then you just hit them with the hairdryer and you can bend them up.
Oh, you can rewarm them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't see any more questions, but if maybe more will come up. But in the next few minutes, is there anything we need to cover before we run out of time from the workbooks? Was there?
Oh, I did just want to go over. Maybe we can point the phone over by the dresser.
Okay.
and we'll go over one more thing and then we'll call it a night. So,
Okay.
this dresser, you guys, all of the branches that I did, I absolutely like. This is such a fun technique to do. I don't know if you've watched this video, but go watch it. The way that I created these branches, so these are all the new IOD birds and flowers and leaves, but the branches are free form. And all I did was take the clay and...
Oh yeah, these are how you made the branches?
Yeah. And I was like, how am I going to make branches? Because there are no IOD molds that are made that are branches. And so I would take the clay and I'd roll it like this into a long snake. And then I would take the wood grain stamp, which I don't know if I have here. Do I have it? I might have taken it back to the store.
Well, you can pretend that you have it with one of those others.
So the wood grain stamp is also from IOD, and you can see it in the video. I just pressed the wood grain stamp down into the clay, and then I applied it to the dresser, and I just squeezed it and pushed it, and it created all this beautiful texture.
Let's see if I can get a close-up.
I don't know. I can't see what they see now.
I know.
But then I painted it with weathered wood. And then once you apply the white wax, just like with the butterflies, all of that beautiful barky looking texture comes to life. So anyway, I wanted to go over that. That's in the worksheets for this month. More detail about that, but I thought that was a really fun technique and something that you could apply even to ornaments. Like you could create branches growing up an ornament with flowers or butterflies. You could do it on a lamp, but it's a really, really fun, really easy thing to do, and it looks beautiful. I was pretty excited.
Melissa commented on the heart necklace that you have. Is that from Rita?
Oh yeah, Rita.
And she said,
I'm not wearing it
is
today.
Oh, the heart necklace you have from Rita is resin.
Is it? You know what? I ordered a whole bunch of heart necklaces from Rita, and we're gonna sell them in the store. She makes pink ones and aqua ones and white ones. So
She's saying it is resin, I think.
Oh, I don't know what I know they're soldered.
Yeah, it is soldered resin.
Oh,
We're friends.
You're friends? I love Rita. Do you live near Rita? How do you know her? Just from going to her vintage marketplace? Melissa? Yeah, Rita is amazing, very talented. Very talented lady, and we're gonna order.
Are you gonna have them on the website?
I already ordered them from Rita, so I don't know if we'll put them on the website, but we'll do what we did like with the leather cuff bracelets. We'll hold them up during a live and just sell them one by one because they're all one of a kind.
We met at a jewelry camp. Oh, how fun!
Ah, what jewelry camp? That sounds like fun.
What
jewelry camp? I want to go. Yes.
So we have another download to put out by December 15th.
Mm-hmm. That will be the lamp.
And that will be our last download before Christmas.
Right.
So,
and I think in that download, I'm going to cover teaching creative workshops. So if you're interested in actually giving a workshop of your own or a make and take.
Yeah.
I am sweating like crazy. Open the door again.
I'm looking at you.
Anyway, that will be part of this month's downloads is some tips on teaching a workshop because I am going to record my trip when I go to see Kelly Weiler and teach the class with her and Dion and Kenise. I'm gonna make a video of us teaching the class, and I'm going to do a worksheet about tips for filling up classes and teaching classes.
So Melissa said Terry Brush does camps in Oregon.
Oh, I know Terry Brush. Terry Brush actually taught a class at my store a long time ago. She's amazing. Small
Susie
world.
says we can come to northern Indiana. You won't be hot there.
Maybe. I've done enough. I've traveled so much. It was like Paris and then Utah and then South Carolina, and now I'm going to Ohio, and I am not going anywhere until next May. I am
What's in May?
Dion's,
Oh, right.
Dion is having a retreat in Waco, Texas, and I'm teaching at that.
Okay.
But I am not going anywhere else. The only way I would get on another plane between now and then is if we go to Aunt Linda's house in Hawaii, and that's it. Otherwise, I'm staying home. I'm a homebody. I like staying home.
Sounds good. Well, after Paris, I think I want to stay home too.
Oh gosh, I'm wiped
All right,
out.
so the next download will be December 15th.
And we have a special announcement coming up in like a week to 2 weeks, 10 days.
Do I know about this?
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned for a special announcement.
Special announcement.
We're working on a secret project. It should be really fun.
Secret project.
Yep.
And
And
then what?
Oh, and if you are anywhere near Ohio, last I heard there were 5 tickets left. Like we've sold 70 tickets to this class. It's me, Dion from the Turquoise Iris, Kelly Weiler of Girl Upcycled in Zanesville, Ohio. We're teaching a paint workshop, and all 3 of us are teaching. Kenise is also going to be there. There may be some dancing involved. So if you would like to come meet me in real life, I would love to meet you. You would go to girlupcycledstudio.com to get your tickets if there are any left. There may be 5. I heard there were 5 like 3 days ago, so there might be just 2 or 3 left.
Okay, and then our once a month live, tonight happened to be, it's December 1, but this is really the end of November's and it just didn't fall right with Thanksgiving. But our December 1, we're looking at the 29th, maybe?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there?
Give people time to recover from the holidays.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching.
we
Any
will-
last minute questions?
You guys, let's see, big
Love the
event
Cubs.
can't do Ohio. Oh, okay.
Okay, well have fun, Susie.
Yes.
And thank you all for watching. And
Be watching for the download on the 15th, and then Merry Christmas.
yeah, and I don't know if you guys know, we're posting edited videos every Wednesday now. We have a new fun one coming out on Wednesday.
Every
And-
Wednesday, she's committed to posting videos.
And then we have the live from the shop every Friday.
Okay, things are coming in, but they're not coming up here. Oh, there they are.
I learned from Mara LaFay of Vintage Retail Therapy to use the Tight Bond Quick and Thick glue. It's great, no slipping. Carol Blagg says that. Well, Mara LaFay knows her stuff, so if she says that's a good glue, that has got to be a good glue. Apparently, I need to try some other glues.
You've got me stuck in a rut.
Well, this has always been my favorite go-to glue, but now I'm going to try Jamie's suggestion and Mara LaFay.
Okay.
All right, you guys, thank you all. So glad you are liking the videos in the live. Stay tuned for our special announcement, and yeah, I'll be doing some lives also from Kelly's workshop when I go. So if you're not following me on Facebook, follow me there, because that's where I usually post the lives when I'm on the road. And we'll see you soon.
All right.
Okay, thanks.